February 19th, 2019, Board of Commissioners meeting at Effingham County. I will provide the invocation and I'll lead us in the pledge. Bow with. Dear Lord, as we gather here today, we are grateful for your presence. We humbly confess our sins and ask for your forgiveness. We pray for your continued love, mercy, and blessings on our county, state, and nation. This we pray in your holy name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flags of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I want to note I think in 8 years, this is the first time I have presided over a meeting. Chairman Corbett out of town. Obviously, please note that Chairman Corbett and Commissioner Burdett are gone. All right, we have the agenda here for approval. Everybody looked over?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second. And then a second. All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Stephanie.
Yes, sir, we have changes to the agenda before you approve it. Actually, Commissioner Burdett has requested that items number 7 and number 8 under planning board presentments, he has requested for this item to be tabled due to his absence. He has some concern. So he asked the board to consider tabling this item, please.
And those were, and I'm sorry, we talked about this and I blew it out.
Said already.
7 and 8.
7 and 8.
Planning board presentments.
That's the only changes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll amend my motion, Mr. Chairman. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with taking off item 7 and item number 8 on planning board section.
I'll second that.
And we're going to table those items until March the 5th.
All right, I can put that in motion. March 5th.
I can just note it if you agree with me.
Okay, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I will, okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, likewise. And it's just to clarify, we have planning board at 6 o'clock, so if we are not through all our regular business, we'll pause that business and go into our planning board presentments. We I don't know if anybody is here for those items, but there was a rezoning from AR1 to AR2 petition by Brandon Buzinski. That item.
We are all here for that.
Okay.
And we have more coming at 6.
Okay, Commissioner Burdett is the district commissioner. He is out medically, and he has asked that we table this item for the next meeting. He really wanted to be involved. I apologize, I know you're taking your time to come.
That's fine.
But he asked me to please table this, so. You can be excused, but you're welcome to stay. But if you will, is there any way you can let those folks know that are coming at 6?
Yes.
So they don't have to, and I apologize.
We didn't know it either.
And to clarify, Stephanie, what was the date of the next meeting?
It's March the 5th, and that meeting is at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We'll be at 5.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, Warren. Mr. Wood.
Okay, come later then.
Brent staying with us.
All right, well, we'll move on to the approval for the minutes of the February 5th, 2019 regular commissioners meeting. Has everyone read those?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed likewise. Motion to move the item is approved. All right, moving on, public comments. Please keep your public comments. I think most everybody in here knows to the agenda item. All the documents for correspondence are located in the clerk's office and also the website. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We have 6 items. I will read those items and we'll entertain approval together. Item number 1, consideration to approve to renew the public Wi-Fi service agreement with Planters Communication LLC for a year period from March 20th, 2019 to March 20th, 2020. Item number 2, consideration to approve to renew the agreement for probation services with the City of Guyton. Number 3, consideration to approve to renew the agreement for probation services with the City of Springfield. Number 4, consideration to approve to renew the agreement for probation services with the State Court of Effingham County. Item number 5, consideration to approve to renew the agreement for probation services with the Superior Court of Effingham County. Item number 6, consideration to approve to renew a service order with Stamps.com. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve as read.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And we are approved, thank you. And now we move into new business. It is consideration to approve funding for the establishment of a juvenile court for the Ogeechee Judicial Circuit. I'll turn this over to Stephanie.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, you all recall at the last meeting, Judge P came and spoke to you about starting up a juvenile court. He provided us information on details as far as the cost for this service. It consists of all the counties within the judicial circuit, that's Effingham, Bullitt, Jenkins, and Scriven. So the total annual cost is $175,000 plus. And a portion of the cost will be funded from the state, that's $100,000, which leaves the $75,000 plus. So the remaining of that budget will be divided among the participating counties. Our cost is 36.61% or $27,652 for these services. As explained by Judge P, the court services would be for, what he said, 8 days per month. And this proposal is to be effective in the new budget year for July 1. Staff recommends approval.
I think we need one. That's a good thing.
No, I
We really need one, because they don't have time. The regular judges, they don't have time to do all this stuff, and the kids, they just sort of left hanging out, really. They don't have the time it takes to deal with them.
Do we know where the other counties stand? I'm sure they're moving forward with it. Have any others approved it? Just curious.
I don't know.
I'd ask Judge P what his thoughts were, because I feel like they're my fault.
Oh, I know they would. I was just curious if anybody had already moved on it.
But they did say they was going to meet with them in the next couple of weeks. so.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of getting it scheduled. Well, I think it's also a good thing.
They have a detailed presentation.
Well, anybody has anything else to add, I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve order number 1.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item number 2 of new business. Consideration to approve to award a contract to JDH Decks and Fences, Inc. for fencing at Sand Hill Recreation Complex. I will turn this over to Ms. Charlton.
Good evening, Fiona Charlton, Purchasing Agent. Staff are directed to start working on improvements at the Sand Hill Recreation Complex. The first phase of the improvements is to install additional fencing. A request for quote was issued and advertised in the usual places and sent to known vendors. A mandatory pre-bid meeting was held at Sandhill, which was attended by 10 vendors. Bids were received from 7 of those vendors. The bid tab is in your packets. The low bidder, JDH Decks and Fences, responded in accordance with the request for quote and provided the required documentation. Their bid total is $51,287,000. Staff recommend alternative number 1. Any questions?
No, it's a shame we were $1,000 off from another vendor who's done a lot of work in the county. I hate that. Who does good work.
If that's your prerogative, we don't have to go with the low bidder. We usually recommend, they're the responsible.
Oh, of course, I understand that.
But that's your prerogative.
It's up to this board. I know Central Fence has done, they did the new complex, they have solid.
Where the JDH,
JDH, they've done some work for us before. They've done, they did the Goshen well, some fencing a few years ago at Goshen. But other than that,
And I'm not familiar, so if we have an issue with JDH, I'm not opposed to JDH.
Yeah.
It's
it's up to you.
I'll make it.
if we're done,
He's what we have, we've done work with him.
I'm good with that.
I'll make a motion, we give it alternative 1.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Floyd and a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. The motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item number 3, consideration to approve a resolution of surplus. Once again, Ms. Charlton.
From time to time, the county has broken, unused, damaged or extra inventory, and in order for the county to properly dispose of these items, they must be declared surplus in accordance with OCGA 36-9-2. This resolution consists of various items which have either been replaced or are no longer used. Staff recommends alternative 1, board's approval of the resolution of surplus. Any questions?
Are these items that are going to be tied to the next item?
Yes, sir.
Everyone has looked over the list of items.
I'll make a motion, surplus items presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Moving on, before I do, welcome back, Mr. Beckett. I'm sorry to do not.
Very kind of you.
Sure. All right, item number 4 is consideration to approve to issue a contract to Lane Brothers Auctions LLC for 2019 surplus auction services. Once again, Ms. Fiona.
Last year, Lane Brothers Auctions sold $3,105 of surplus county property at their annual auction at the fairgrounds in Springfield. This year's auction will be held on March 30th, and staff would like to issue a contract to them for the auction of our surplus property. The contract will run from February 19th, 2019 to June 30th, 2019, and has been reviewed and approved by the county attorney. As no funding is required, staff recommends alternative 1. Any questions?
Questions or discussion?
Make a motion to approve order number 1.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper and a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 5, consideration to approve and execute a contract item agreement, CIA, memorandum of understanding with GDOT for utilities relocation. This would be handled by Mr. McPhee, but I do not see Mr. McPhee. Anybody else want to handle it?
I'll start based on the staff report that you
Okay.
presented for the request. As noted on the staff report from Mr. McPhee, it says that the Board of Commissioners has previously entered into an agreement with the Department of Transportation to manage the design and construction of the parkway. As a part of this project, an existing water line, sewer forced main, and sewer reuse water line needs to be relocated. So this MOU speaks to the relocation of those lines. Effingham County desires for GDOT to include the relocation of the existing utilities in the contract for the rest of the construction. And it says it's necessary in order to relocate it to be included in the contract. So I guess this is something.
Yeah, it sounds like to me this is something we knew we would have to do and have budgeted for it.
Yes.
Are we gonna bid these jobs out, or who's gonna bid them out? I mean,
To answer that question.
okay.
I'm Commissioner, I'm just getting back in the saddle, and I can't tell you for certain, but I can tell you that I was not here Friday, and of course we were closed Monday. But I did late this afternoon see an email from the gentleman at EON, Daniel. I think you have a proposal from Moreland Alphabelli to provide this service, but I have not reviewed it. That's very superficial. So I don't know if it's been bid or not, or if it was part of your original contract with EON.
Okay. I just wonder because they deal with three different things. The reason I asked that question, I don't know. I guess they don't have somebody to oversee it, and then they'll get whoever was necessary to do the different.
Trying to do better about providing you with information, but that was a pretty superficial explanation. But I'm pretty sure that Moreland Alphabelli has submitted a proposal through EOM for your consideration.
Okay, thank you.
Nonetheless, this is just the agreement with DOT to provide that, and we can work through who does provide that work. Any other questions, discussion? Or a motion?
Make a motion to approve alternate number 1.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. It's approved unanimously. Moving on to item of new business number 6. Consideration to approve to accept a grant award and enter into an agreement with ACCG for a finance department monitor cash flow internship. I'll turn this over to Ms. Carpenter.
Hi, Christy Carpenter, Finance Director. Each year, ACCG Civic Affairs Foundation operates a Georgia County internship program and offers grants to counties to recruit and hire college and university students for county internships. The board approved submission of that application for a summer intern in November, and the application was submitted in December. ACCG has awarded us 1 intern for a total of $2,173. The grant period is May 1 to September 1, and it's reimbursable. The agreement has been reviewed by the county attorney, and staff recommends alternative 1.
Everybody heard any questions, comments?
Make a motion to approve alternative 1.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Loper, by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business number 7. Consideration to approve the fire chief to sign a non-binding memorandum of understanding to allow Effingham County Fire Rescue to be a learning partner with Columbia Southern University. I'll turn it over to Chief Hodges.
Good evening, Clint Hodges, Fire Chief. We have several of our members that are currently enrolled with Columbia Southern University, and they've reached out, and we have an opportunity to become basically a learning partner with them. And it allows our employees to get about a 10% reduction on their tuition. It's non-binding. We had this reviewed by our county attorney, and what it allows them to do is basically use our logo on their website, just to say we are a partner with them. Right now, Savannah Fire, Bryan County, and I believe even our sheriff's office are all currently partners. So we wanted to bring this forth just to try to help them out, our employees out if we can.
This is online. This is online.
Yes, sir.
I guess, is it also available to volunteers?
Yes, sir, it is.
And they take any course, I mean, it has nothing to do with fire or nothing that, they can take anything they want to?
Yes, sir, they can. Most of ours are aimed at either emergency management or fire administration at the
They
moment.
can take something else?
They can take something
Okay,
else.
that's good.
Education's a good thing.
And I want to be a fire chief one day, some of it.
Could be.
Big shoes.
Anybody have any questions, comments? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve alternative one.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Floyd, a second by Commissioner Looper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 8 of new business. Consideration to approve a rental agreement with Effingham Victim Witness. I'll turn it over to Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir. Victim Witness is housed in our annex of Highway 119. They have been for a number of years. Their agreement has not been renewed for some time, so it's a housekeeping issue. We're just renewing their agreement for this upcoming year. We have not charged them rent ever. We provided the space, just based on the services that they provide to the county. So staff does recommend approval, and it has been reviewed and approved by the county.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Make a motion to approve order number 1.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Loper and a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to item number 9 of new business. Consideration to approve to reappoint Ann Yarborough for the Hospital Authority Board. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir. We were contacted by the hospital notifying us that Ms. Yarborough's appointment is set to expire at the end of this month. She is an appointment by Commissioner Floyd for the 1st District, so he was contacted. Mr. Floyd does wish to reappoint Ms. Yarborough, and she wishes to be reappointed. So staff does recommend approval to reappoint Ms. Yarborough for the 1st District.
Yeah, I make a motion we approve this y'all alternative.
Have a motion by Commissioner Floyd, a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it carries unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to item number 10 of new business. Consideration to approve an engagement letter with Lewis Law Trial Lawyers for right-of-way acquisition. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir. As you all are aware, Mr. Lewis's firm has been utilized for the services of right-of-way acquisitions. This is an engagement letter to continue those services. The schedule of payments is outlined in your staff report as well as in the engagement letter. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Make a motion to approve alternative 1.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Loper, Commissioner Deloach, second by Commissioner Loper. All in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous. Moving on to item number 11 of new business. Consideration to approve Commissioner travel to Atlanta for the ACCG Capital Connection Conference. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir. This Capital Connection Conference is it's an annual event by ACCG, held by ACCG. This year, the dates of the conference are Wednesday, February 27th, and Thursday, February 28th. There are continuing education opportunities as well as specialty certification through the Lifelong Learning Academy with ACCG. This travel is for commissioners. Staff recommends approval of the travel.
Any questions or comments on the board?
Make a motion to approve alternative 1.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Deloach, and I'll give it to Commissioner Floyd for the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise.
That'd be fast.
And it carries unanimous. Wow, okay. Huh?
One more,
Did I miss one?
12,
number 12.
Oh, we did, yeah. No, sorry, yeah.
this is one of them Savannah.
Yep. Item number 12 is new business. Consideration to approve commissioner and staff travel for the ACCG 2019 annual conference in Savannah.
Yes, sir, you are familiar with this one. Those dates are April 26th through the 29th. Again, it offers continuing education courses, includes 2-day trainings, and also general sessions, the breakout sessions, the buyer's mart, exhibit hall, and all banquets and entertainment events. Staff recommends approval of the travel.
Questions or comments from the board? Entertain a motion.
They want to approve order number 1.
Have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Floyd. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it carries unanimous.
Who all go? Everybody go?
Everybody.
Everybody, both of them?
Yes. Oh, no, not, this one is Savannah.
Who's going next week? Who's going next week?
Next one.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll take part of this.
Oh, I'm trying to put the dates in for that April conference, so I can get it.
Reports from administrative staff and commissioners. I'll start with Mr. Beckett today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Delighted to be here, first of all. Absolutely, positively, I appreciate your confidence and hope I can fulfill your expectations. There is one issue, and again, just like the last issue, I don't have a lot of information on this yet. But the project manager for the Effingham Parkway project has been in contact with me beginning on, I guess, my first day here, which was February the 11th. Apparently, some emails have been exchanged to the former interim, and he didn't see them, so there's no blame here. He just, I think his email account was cut off. But GDOT is asking for concurrence from the interim administrator for moving the let date for the project to July 2021. The original let date, I believe, was September this year. They can't make that date. As you know, probably better than I, they discovered some artifacts in the project area that have impacted the project. I was very reluctant to concur for obvious reasons. We're talking about pushing it all of this fiscal year and then beyond the next fiscal year and then finally to fiscal year 2021. The commitment that I have from Ms. Wright in writing is that if we have completed all of the tasks that have been assigned, including more doubt development, the new environmental assessments that have occurred, cultural assessments as well, that we could possibly do it in July of 2020. But their environmental staff believes that we won't be ready until July of 2021. And so I wanted to make you aware of that because before I concur with something like that, I felt that you should be aware of it because of the significant delay. Someone suggested to me that perhaps it was a financial issue. I'm not sure about that. I'm taking them at their face value that they don't believe that all of the tasks are right away that needs to be acquired, the utility relocation that you approved this evening, some of the analysis of the rice fields and the other things that they've apparently found. So I just want to be sure that you were aware of that before I made a concurrence that would push this thing out basically quite a while, almost 2 years. Not quite, obviously, but almost 2 years. Can I answer any questions? I'll be happy to tell you to the best of my ability what I know, but they haven't been extremely forthcoming with any more information than I've just shared with you.
The original let date, they want to push it from,
I believe it was September of this year.
that's 2 years. That was never contemplated when this was,
No, but I remember the discussion that they were,
I knew there was going to be a delay. I was thinking spring of 2020.
yes, what I thought.
The date that I heard, and I can't remember who I heard it from, I don't remember if it was from Sharon Corbett, I don't remember, but I heard a date of June 2020, that was the date that I heard. And I have a series of emails back and forth, continuing with them, and that date,
And I believe that date could, I think that's kind of the worst case scenario date is the way I may have misunderstood, but I think due to the time, I think they had it to 9 months on. And then if things were mitigated quickly with the rice fields and the other things,
exactly right.
I think it could be sooner than.
Could be, but probably won't be until that next fiscal year though, because then they'll get into funding reallocation and other things. That's exactly right. That's the way it's conveyed to me, is they just don't believe we can meet it, and supposedly it's to our benefit to have it extended. But if we do complete the task in a timely manner, I had hoped to talk to someone from Moreland out in Bellevue today, and unfortunately I was in budget meeting, which just didn't get done.
But I agree with you. I don't see anything like that happening at the end of the fiscal year.
Right. Yeah. But I didn't want you to be surprised. You see something that, with my 3 or 4 days experience, whatever it is that I've committed to county to pushing the project out to the year 2021. Are you all okay with that? Would you like me to get more information and bring it back to you? I think that's the bottom line, though, is that they just don't think that we can meet it. And that's the worst case, as Commissioner Glover said, that's the worst case scenario. And if we can complete those tasks prior to then, they would commit to having an alternative let day.
I asked me as well.
The archaeological study, that's already been bid out and we have the bids back and we're in Alpha Valley have. We were just waiting for them to let us know when to read it for you guys to start the work. So just so you know, that's already in place. We're just waiting for them. But like they said, it'll take quite a while to get that done. So we're just waiting on them to let us know. So.
We only been working on it for 15 years, that ain't too bad.
How about before you offer your concurrence, I have a meeting tomorrow, and I may be able to try to get more information.
Thank you for that suggestion. I'll wait on you, Commissioner. That's all I have, other than, again, I'm just absolutely delighted to have the opportunity to serve you. Look forward to working with each one of you and trying to do what I can to make things as good as I can. Just don't have expectations that are beyond my capability.
But we're glad to have you back.
Absolutely. Well, we'll stay on this side. We'll start with Ms. Kincaid. Anybody? Ms. Fiona?
I just wanted to let you all know that we bid out the real estate agent to get somebody, a broker.
I know they can hear you, but it can't be.
We put the bid out for the real estate broker for Grandview Tract, and we only received one bid back, and it was actually, they're more of an auction company, and they're from New Jersey, I believe. So I'd like your advice if you'd like me to just rebid it, or I can bring it before you at the next meeting and you can.
No, I need more than one.
Yeah, we definitely need more than one. I think we may need to pause on that. I think there's
Okay.
probably some information we need to work on to get on the property itself, to be prepared to actually.
I just wanted to let you know that it was bid and we just got one response.
That'd be my opinion.
Good evening again. I just wanted to take a minute to let you know, as you heard earlier, we did get a grant that was awarded by our new grant writer, so that's the first one under her belt awarded. She has reached out to several department heads with some ideas for other grants, and she's waiting for the feedback from them. Also, back at the end of last year, you allowed us to open some accounts with LGIP to invest some money, and I just wanted to let you know in January statement, we saw interest increase $10,000 from that, so it's moving in the right direction. We're eager to see February's, it'll look even better.
Nothing from me, Melissa.
Not at this time. Mr. Newberry. Ms. Stephanie.
Yes, sir, you have this information in front of you. Planners Telephone contacted me, I guess, last week. They go each year from Scriven County to Effingham County with who they're going to feature in their annual edition of the phone directory. She has asked to feature the Morgan Complex on the front page, and they just asked for some details, a synopsis on the amenities and the origination of the site. So this will be printed in March. So look for Scriven County Directory. Your plaque will be in the front of it.
Let's go make phone books.
They still make phone books. I said the same thing.
No, I didn't.
Hold on. The next comp plan meeting is going to be on Monday, February 25th at 10. It's the third one, and I believe the final public meeting for those who are interested in attending. Also received from the CRC, there's a U.S. bike route designation. Our county is along that path, so they are asking for a support resolution to submit along with their application. That resolution, you have a draft sample of it in your materials, and staff will place it on your March 5th agenda for consideration of approval. The chamber is seeking nominations to fill 3 board of director seats. Those terms to serve are 3-year terms, effective July 1 of this year through June 30th of 2021. They are asking to receive those nominations no later than Wednesday, March 27th. So if you guys have anyone in mind that you're interested in nominating for that board, if you can get that information to me so that I can get it together to put on our next agenda. And I think, okay, Clint sent me your January 2019 monthly fire report, that's included there. And your January monthly report from EOM is also included in your material. And that is everything I have. Yes.
Commissioners, Commissioner Ledford, anything? I don't have anything.
I'll just point out, some of you may have saw an email, but this afternoon at 3 o'clock, they were having the first hearing on the floor of the House for the new election machines. So that was going to be heard today for the first time, so that is moving forward. That's it.
I'm good too. I'm good. Guess we can take a quick break. Anyone here for item number?
7.
Sorry. Item number 7 and 8. That was a application by Brandon Kaczynski. That item, Commissioner Burdette is not going to be present tonight, and he asked that we table that item to the next meeting. We had some folks here earlier that left, but we've tabled that item to the March 5th meeting. So we won't be hearing those items tonight. With that, we can take a break for about 15 minutes. How long? All right, we're in back into to the meeting and go into planning board presentments. I don't know if anybody looks like, is there anyone here for the hearing on the public hearing on Brzezinski? Move on then. All right, we'll move on to item number 1. Started off, planning board recommends approving an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA to rezone 16 acres located at 2613 Midland Road from AR1 to I1 to allow for surface mining, map number 373, parcel number 17 in the 2nd district. Turn it over to Ms. Buchanan. Give us some background.
Yes, so there are a total of 3 cases for this one plot, but the first is the rezone. And as you said, this is an effort to expand the current mining operation. And I'm going to use the little current mining operation is over here, although actually on this is was included in the application. So this is the current one. This is I can rotate it if you'd like, but it's so this is the new parcel, and the request is to rezone this so that the mining operation can expand into that and join together. And the next 2 variance requests deal with the buffer issues.
Okay, well, this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak for this matter?
Yep. Good evening, Wilson Burns. Like you said, it's an effort to expand the current operation, which is nearly wrapped up, and not to group them all together, but so the zonings is to expand over in that the next property that we mostly surround, but the next 2 things, the variance request. Basically, one of them is trying to remove the variance. We didn't combine the parcels, so one basically is trying to remove the buffer from the current operation as it borders the new property, and then the second variance is to remove the buffer from the new property so that it all can be one whole together. So, not trying to change any buffers on the road frontage or on the outside, parcel, the adjoining parcels. Yep. Otherwise, so.
So the only, of course I said this one, but the elimination would be against the other surface mine of the buffer, what you're saying?
Yeah.
See along this border here? Effectively just remove the buffer requirement.
On that L, yeah.
Just to prevent you from unnecessarily recombining those, you accomplish the same thing, basically.
Yep, and at some point, I imagine we might come back and recombine them. We didn't combine them for, the engineer's not here tonight, but the way the engineer wanted to do it and the way the state permitting works, he wanted to treat it as, it was a little bit different process to try to go back. So this is the way, if it's acceptable to the commission to do it that way, this is the way he preferred that we do it.
All right, well, it's a public hearing. Anyone wish to oppose this item? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Obviously, Commissioner Burdette for the 2nd District is not present. Anyone else have any comments, concerns?
Cut and dry.
If there's no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve alternate number 1.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Loper, second by Commissioner DeLucia. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise? All right, it's unanimous to approval. We'll move on to the 2nd reading. Consideration to approve the 2nd reading of an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA to rezone 16 acres located at 2613 Midland Road from AR1 to I1 to allow for surface mining, map number 373, parcel number 17 in the second district. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve alternate number 1.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed likewise. And the second reading is approved unanimously. We'll move on to item number 3, which is a public hearing. The planning board recommends approving an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA for a variance to eliminate the buffers along northern and western property lines located at 2613 Midland Road, map number 373, parcel number 17 in the second district. Ms. Kincaid?
Yes, so this is the same area that we've looked at, and this is addressing the buffers on the small sectioned out areas to the north and the west. It would be to remove the buffer requirements, thereby allowing the line to extend over towards the existing parcel. And I'm not sure how much data or so much background to give you here as far as the planning board meeting. I think you have kind of a summary of all of that.
We do.
But in essence, the planning board approved it and staff recommended alternative one, which was to approve it.
Well, it's a public hearing, so I'm going to open it up to anyone who wishes to speak for the matter.
Again, not to berate it, but we don't want to remove the buffer on the adjacent properties, just between our pieces there.
Between John and ours. Anyone who wishes to speak against this matter? With that, I'll close the public hearing and we'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve alternative 1.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Deloach, second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it approved unanimously. And we'll move on. Item number 4, consideration to approve the second reading of an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA for a variance to eliminate the buffers along northern and western property lines located at 2613 Midland Road, map number 373, parcel number 17 in the second district.
Make a motion to approve the second reading.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous. Moving on to item number 5. Planning Board recommends approving an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA for a variance to eliminate the buffers along southeastern property line located at 2613 Midland Road, map number 373, parcel number 18 I&D in the second district. Ms. Kincaid?
And this is relating to the buffers on the existing line parcel, so the southern border there and the eastern here, and again, not any of the other boundaries, just the buffers there, which will allow the mining operations to just flow seamlessly between the two parcels.
Public hearing, anyone wishes to speak for this matter? Anyone wish to speak against this matter? With that, I will close the public hearing. And any questions, comments, entertain a motion?
Make a motion to approve alternate number 1.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it is approved unanimous. Moving on. Consideration to approve the second reading of an application by John G. Burns Jr. as trustee ILTA for a variance to eliminate the buffers along southeastern property line located at 2613 Midland Road, map number 373, parcel number 18 I&D in the second district.
Make a motion to approve alternate number 1.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Unanimous. Second reading is approved. Okay, we're going to move on. We have removed items number 7 and 8 from the agenda. Moving on to item number 9. Planning Board recommends approving an application by Michael DeVoe for a conditional use for a shooting club and firearms training facility located on Old Louisville Road, map number 252, parcel number 2A, in the 3rd District. Ms. Kincannon?
Mr. DeVoe is asking for conditional use because he wanted to have a public conversation essentially and also answer any questions by the planning board. This is usually approved as a use by right in AR1 zoning districts. And so there isn't actually any guidance in the ordinances as far as stipulations, so I felt at a loss as to how to proceed there and just decided that it was best to, given that it's a right by use, that we should recommend approval and up to you all to come back and decide if we needed to look at regulations or guidance in the future. But Mr. DeVoe has some good information about what he intends to do.
Well, it's a public hearing, so I'll open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak for this matter?
Michael DeVoe. This is kind of, I guess, we want to see if there's any special regulations or requirements on our half. We've made an offer on this track. The seller has not yet accepted the offer, but a contingency in the offer is that it gets accepted by the board for what our uses will be. So I'm kind of here to answer any of your questions or any concerns that y'all may have about this track. And if this track does not work out, I understand that I have to repeat this process through the planning board and through you guys for approval. So it'll be a contingency in each of our offers and for other tracks in Effingham County. Just want to make sure, you know, the investment we have, we don't want to buy the property and then not be able to use it for the intent. So I'm just here really to answer any questions or concerns y'all have.
Mr. Chairman, I called Mr. DeVoe earlier today, had a conversation with him, got a little more information from him. As it says in our packet, the instructors of this program will be NRA certified. Mr. DeVoe is past law enforcement officer. I believe the other 3 instructors are current.
That's correct.
Law enforcement officers. I believe one of the instructors is currently supervises the gun range for Chatham County.
That's correct. Lieutenant Murphy, he's the chief firearms instructor at Chatham County. Yes, sir.
His people involved know what they're doing, involved in law enforcement. And Mr. DeVoe also disclosed that the berms around the shooting area would be NRA certified. I think, what is that, 14 feet on height?
It's 12 to 14 feet. There's no actual regulation on it. There's suggestions of berm heights, and it'll match any of the law enforcement ranges, Effingham's, Chatham Counties, or any other, you know, as far as the safety requirements on berm heights and angles and so forth of the berms.
Is it mostly like rifles and handguns, or is some shotguns?
Yes, sir. We intend to offer handgun, shotgun, anywhere from first shooters. The NRA has a program, it's called NRA First Shot, for someone that's never fired a firearm, basic safety, fundamentals of shooting, all the way to a Pistol 1, Pistol 2 class, more advanced training, from home defense, vehicle defense, public defense, you know, what you should or shouldn't do, you know, if you get approached or have to react within a vehicle or a house. Also, active shooter training for businesses, churches, and so forth. If they have an active shooter, what to do, necessary steps to take.
Is it strictly for training, or is it be like a Culver City Gun Club where they have different tournaments?
Yeah, we will host IDPA type style matches, IPSC matches. Currently, the IDPA club, which I'll shoot in competitively sometimes, is here at the Effingham County range. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Effingham range, but it's kind of a neighborhood here, so this would be a lot more appropriate location. If this offer doesn't work out, it'd be a similar property. Before we purchase a track, we'll ensure all the county ordinances are abided by, 300 yards from a residence, and of course the noise ordinance too. We don't intend to do any night firing. If it does, it'll be within the noise ordinance stipulations.
Yeah, that's a big enough piece of property.
I like the idea, and I like the fact, I guess y'all's past background with your law enforcement experience makes me feel better about it. But in my motion, I would like to address the berms. I don't know if I could put a stipulation on there. You kind of said law enforcement grade berm.
Certainly, yes, sir.
Because I know that's what you're going to do, that's what you're intending to do anyway. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's really the only thing that kind of, I just would like to have that in the motion, just to have that there. But other than that, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Well, it is a public hearing, so anyone else wish to speak on this matter? Anyone wish to speak against this matter? For that, I'll close the public hearing. We have this item in the 3rd district.
Yeah, I will make a motion to approve this request. Staff, planning board recommendations, and we're adding the stipulation that there will be law enforcement grade berms added to the property on the shooting range.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Floyd to approve. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Approved unanimously. Move on to item number 10, consideration to approve the second reading of an application. Pause. We can't have the second reading tonight. We have the stipulation.
You're right.
Yeah, we can't. We're going to have to come back to the next meeting for the second reading. It's technicality. Is that a problem for you?
No, no, sir.
What's our?
No, sir, what's the date on that?
March 5th. I'm sorry, our ordinances read, we can have a second reading on the same night, but if we add any stipulations or it's not a unanimous approval.
Oh, yes, sir.
We have to wait.
Yeah, no problem, sir. I'll be here.
But that will be at 5 o'clock the next meeting, right? Because that'll come up in old
Yeah,
business.
it'll be a 5 p.m. meeting.
Yeah.
And it'll be old business, will that be old business? That'll be an old business, so it should be at the front end of the 5 o'clock meeting.
All right, very good, sir.
Sorry about that. All right. With that, we'll move to item number 11. Planning Board recommends approving an application for a sketch plan by Ford Wilson Beacon Builders, Inc., consisting of 81 lots in Barrister Landing, map number 347, parcel number 7, 8, parcel number 7 and 8 in the 4th district. Ms. McGee?
Yes, this was before you actually last fall, and it has come back with some revisions, and that's why it's here. And Mr. Wilson can speak more about that. But the sketch plan approval is for a new 81 lot phase of the subdivision on Courthouse Road. Well, I'm calling it a phase maybe, but it's an extension of the existing subdivision. And it has addressed some of the issues from the earlier reviews. And so the request is really just for you all to approve it. We've made stipulations, which are the ordinary ones, each lot meeting the requirements, etc. And so we were, as staff, able to recommend alternative one, which is to approve it.
It's not a public hearing, but if anybody in the audience has any input, would like to speak on the matter. If not, any comments, questions from the board?
Make a motion to approve staff recommendations, order number 1.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Floyd. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous. Okay, with that, we'll move on to item number 12. The planning board recommends approving an application by Boomer Homes, Inc. for a variance to reduce the front setback from 25 foot to 15 feet on lots 22 through 26 located on Courthouse Road, map number 369G, parcel number 22 through 26 in the 4th district. Okay.
So in this case, the subdivision lots are, the lots in question back onto Courthouse Road, and the applicant would like to enlarge the backyards by moving the houses up closer to the internal road of the subdivision. And that, based on our reading, my reading of the code, that it didn't seem like there were any particular physical characteristics of the lots that required this. And so I was, staff recommends denying it based on the fact that there didn't seem to be any particular hardship, it seemed more of a preference. The planning board did decide that to approve it. So.
Can we do variances on a bunch of things? I mean, like the last one we did, I think they had already built in the house before we give them variance on it, but this doesn't really, this is no special variance. And I don't know if that qualifies for the variance they want, just to move it up, move that 10 feet.
Well, I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on the matter, we'll see what the public says. Speak before the matter.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all's time tonight and your service. Ms. Teresa is correct. We, the initial staff recommendations were not to allow this. What we had done on this thing is research it to see what had been allowed somewhat in the past, and the 15-foot, excuse me, was the least setback that we could find that had been previously approved. The reason for it is that the area right there along Courthouse Road is kind of low. That's where McCall and Courthouse come together, and it's kind of low through there. There's also a timber buffer already located there, which the developer would like to maintain simply because of the proximity to the back of the homes. The reason for bringing it forward includes those, but the main thing is that they're trying to get more backyard, because one of the things that this builder does is he builds a patio that goes with this. And with the current setbacks the way they are in the homes that are planned for there, the actual patio would be almost on the right of way and would require that all the vegetation be removed. So what they're asking to do is to see if it's possible to move it closer to the front. They're doing all those on that side of it, so it'll be a continuous process, and it won't look weird with some being set close and some away. But that's the purpose behind it. So we would ask that y'all allow the recommendation to go forward. I didn't have time to really talk with Ms. Teresa very much about it. We had other things that we had to talk about, and I appreciated her help very much on those. But that's the purpose.
Okay.
In terms of any kind of cause for concern with the county, I can't see how it would be, because it would actually increase the area that the county would have if they decided to upgrade the drainage on that portion without having to worry about improvements being located right there. And we are asking for the name of the street to change to Boomer Court, simply because that Windsor Road, Windsor Spring, this, that, and the other just causing everybody problems.
Anyway, like I say, we do make variances, but usually we don't do them for, we do it for special things. Like I say, the contractor comes in and built the house wrong, and he set it out, and they come in for a variance. They don't have room to do something the way the lot is situated, and we do give variances, but anyway, and I don't know if it's, but I'll let somebody else speak to it, because
We'll keep the public hearing open if anybody else would like to speak for the matter. Anyone?
Project show at the planning board meeting?
I don't believe there were any,
He says,
no, none of this.
Before I close the public hearing, if anyone wishes to speak against the matter. With that, I'll close the public hearing and then we can discuss.
All right, well, I'm sorry, do my part.
So it's five lots in question.
They lined up there, 5 of them, I think it's about 22 through 26. It's just in our ordinance, that's what we recommend. And unless something comes up that's sort of special, that's the reason we don't use changes there, you understand?
Yes, sir. I do, and the reason, that I'm here was because the aesthetics of it would be so much better. That's part of it. The other part of it is that I can show you on my cell phone, I can't show you on anything else, but they superimpose the homes on top of these, and it leaves a backyard, a very, very small backyard. And with no patio, it's small. So what they're trying to do is see what they can do to get a little larger backyard. From the buyer's point of view, the larger backyards seem to be more appropriate and things that people want more than a large front yard.
I understand that.
So we felt like if we could do it with all of them coming up, it would create a more orderly appearance all the way through, which is kind of what I felt like the 35-foot setback was initially for. And not saying that that wasn't a good reason, it's just that there's a huge transmission line that's going to stop anything else further from going on that particular line. There won't be anything else that can be added to it or anything else. And it borders on a cul-de-sac.
They just going on these 22 through 26, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't.
It's going to be all the same.
I mean, as long as they're all lined up, they're not.
That sounds like
your call.
It'll make it look more uniform.
Yeah,
Well, I'm concerned with the bigger picture on,
later on, something.
sometimes we have teetered on whether it was a true hardship on our variances, and that's usually our threshold. No, I'm not opposed to reduced setbacks by any means. But that is handled in the zoning, there's other zonings that do it 65.
And all of them together will be the same, it's not like they'll be like dominoes, one here and one there.
Right.
Anyway.
And we felt like that was important to keep it that way,
Yes.
all the way across the board. So to create the orderly
The
appearance.
only thing I would
that
just
you're
talk from
seeking.
this board, the next time somebody comes up and says their backyard's not going to be big enough, they want to reduce it. And that qualify for them for a variance.
Yeah,
I'm just,
that's the door.
that's,
And that's the only thing I'm saying, but anyway,
and that concerns me. That-
but I guess we cross.
How big are these lots? How big are these lots?
Ooh, I look,
Say one thing, Mr. Radford, you may want to just maybe comment more on the right of way and any sort of utility easements in the back. That could be something that's unique to this property that, for the next one down the line, and then I have the same issue, they're backing up to the courthouse road, right? Am I looking at that right?
yes, sir. They back up, that is, and I appreciate county attorney bringing that up. That is one of the things that we're putting forward on this. First of all, it ends, this is it. There, I mean, it can't go any further. It can't be an extension of this subdivision anywhere else, because as the plat shows, it is totally out of that. 0.26 acres on 4 of them, and 1 is 0.94. But it ends on that, at that gas line,
That tree line here, basically.
and along Courthouse Road there, that buffer is actually staying the same, and that's a 25-foot buffer. So what we're really doing is getting improvements kind of out of the way of any future requirements for the improvement of courthouse. Whether that happens or not, it'll still be set there. In terms of the utility easements that are there already, they are at the 10-foot on the plat. They're set. I don't know if y'all have that in front of y'all or not, but there is a plat of these that shows that 10-foot utility easement. So the utilities on the front of the lot are not going to be impacted at all. And the benefit arising from the increase of the back part, or the backyard part of these lots, would be fairly significant, not only from the county's point of view, but from the homeowner's point of view in terms of the privacy that they'll be able to maintain because of the tree growth that's already there. So there are a lot of things about this one, Commissioner Loper, that I think would be significantly different from other things that could be brought forward. I do realize there is a lot of room for abuse, but in our research, we could only find 1 or 2 times where the county had reduced it to the 15-foot setbacks. So we don't see anything, we don't see an abuse of it right now, and we're certainly not looking to abuse it. We appreciate the fact that y'all have worked with this company several times. What I'm trying to do is create the uniformity so it's not lost in the purpose of the zoning ordinance, is not lost, but also to try to make these houses aesthetically appealing as possible with a larger backyard. Now, there are some drainage issues along Courthouse Road, which I'm sure y'all are aware of, that I believe that this would do more to help than hurt. And I'm hoping this is the last of the WRPH lots, to be honest with you.
You ready for me to make a motion?
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to do planning board. Put the planning board, then they voted to do it, so it'd be alternate number 1, approve a variance to reduce from 2226 to allow for a larger rear yard on Courthouse Road.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. Aye. All right, 3-1, it is approved.
Thank y'all very much.
Tell anybody.
All right, moving on, we cannot have second reading, so we will move on to item number 14. The planning board recommends approving an application by Ford Wilson and Deacon Builders for a variance to eliminate the requirements for sidewalks in Phase 4 of Shadow Brook, located off Log Landing Road, map number 428, parcel number 15 in the 4th district. I will turn it over to Ms. Content.
All right, so this is also a variance request, but the way the ordinance reads, this is purely the prerogative of the commissioners to approve or to grant a waiver. So there's a slight difference there. It's, it's up to y'all. And so what they're doing is the plans did include provisions for sidewalks, and at whatever point of the development process and the grading and utilities installation, that all happened, and then it was realized that the sidewalks, in order to fit in, would have to be very, very close to the houses in this portion. And that was, they went ahead and built some in order to complete the houses and get their certificates of occupancy, and are asking that the commissioners grant a waiver to the requirement to have sidewalks in that portion of this phase, simply because it looks, the sidewalks are really, really close to the house. And they did provide some photographs, which I think are in your package. And so I did take a drive out there, and while the sidewalks are really, it would be really close to the house, cutting the front yard in half. And so in this instance, even though it's completely your decision, staff felt that it was.
Oh, it's terrible. They don't need a sidewalk in there. And they got a bunch of pictures of here. These two, I don't know if y'all looked at them. When I went down there, the pickup truck was pulled up to the door on the garage, and you had to be careful not to hit the trailer hitch on the back of it. And it shows them two together. What they did, of course, I don't know how they got away with this. They got a 15-foot easement from the property line up on their property. If you look at any of these pictures, that pickup truck, see his hitch is right there, and those two stalls is where the sidewalk would come through. They don't need them, and the cul-de-sac is right here. If you want to go next door, it'd be closer for you to walk. Because the cul-de-sac is paved, it'd be easier and closer to just walk on the cul-de-sac than it would be on the sidewalk. And I told them, I said, they don't need that. So anyway.
All right, so let me go ahead and open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak for this matter?
Jack, do you want to speak for it?
Anyone wish to speak against it? With that, I'll close the public hearing. And I agree. What does our ordinance read? How does it address sidewalks? I didn't.
They
I know it was in
are
there, I can't.
they are required. I guess they're fall under amenity, and as such, the commissioners can waive the requirements.
Sure, okay.
And given that this is a ditch and not a curb and gutter, it kind of follows through that this request is for whatever caused the placement to be
Some
where
of the houses, some of the phases, they do have sidewalks.
Yeah, no,
They're long, but these, they got they got a map there, it's hard to see. But they have one little cul-de-sac and have 5 houses in it.
No, I agree. I've been out there. Trust me.
You know what it looks like.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was just trying to say on what.
But it's terrible to have the sidewalk going, 15 feet from your garage.
The difference in this scenario is if you were going to waive that requirement, you would do it during the rezoning or some other stage.
Yeah, that's right. Not after the.
Right.
But my understanding, there's some that don't have it, some that do have it. I think it's kind of a smorgasbord.
Anyway.
So this is.
Yeah, and I agree. In this situation,
I've never seen nothing that bad, really.
something wasn't called out there. All right, any more questions, comments? I'm going to entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve order number 1.
Got a motion by Commissioner Luker, a second by Commissioner Deloach. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous. We will move to the second reading. Consideration to approve the second reading of an application by Ford Wilson Beacon Builders for a variance to eliminate the requirements for sidewalks in Phase 4 of Shadow Brook, located on Log Landing Road, map number 428, parcel number 15 in the 4th District. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve second reading.
We have a motion by Commissioner Loper, second by Commissioner Deloach to approve the second reading. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And the motion carries unanimous. With that, is there any more business to come before the board?
Yes, sir. Your executive session minutes.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I can bring it to you.
That's all I got. Wait a minute, I got it. Should have.
It should be the same.
Should.
Yeah, they are.
Were you going to say anything else?
They're the same, right?
Yeah.
That's just so I can keep up with who doesn't return their call.
Don't worry about this.
Everybody's had a chance to look at them on.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second. We've got a motion by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Loper. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. And it's approved unanimous. Okay. With that, is there any more business to come before the board tonight? If not,
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
a motion by Commissioner Deloach, a second by Commissioner Floyd. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed likewise. We're adjourned.
We got to hit the gavel. We got to